Montana Congressman Ryan Zinke. He sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Sir, welcome to National Report. We'll start with just your overall reaction to Secretary Rubio's comments there.
Well, I think Rubio is spot on. And the objective is to release the hostages, all the hostages, and peace. I think jumping forward to a Palestinian state from Macron was a mistake. And look, the Palestinian government, this is Hamas, is a terrorist organization. They don't want a Palestinian state. They want to replace Israel. Over and over again, their objective is to destroy and eliminate Israel. That is well documented. But jumping to conclusion, now we're going to focus on a Palestinian state. There's still hostages. Hopefully, many of them are alive. They need to return the hostages. That's step one.
I want to ask you, if I can, go back in time to that military parade in Beijing in China. Not just the display of weaponry that we were able to see that was showcased throughout the world, but it was the world leaders together side by side, Xi, Putin, and Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Do you believe that sent a message to the United States as a whole collectively? Why or why not? And what was that message?
Well, I think President Trump said, it was a beautiful parade because it demonstrated that China has arrived. China has more holes. They're well positioned in the Pacific. They continue to lean on and threaten Taiwan. And they have arrived militarily. I think the arrival of the U.S., we have better technology. They have more, equipment as far as hulls and ships and planes, et cetera, et cetera. They continue to be a threat for democracy in the region. So I think you have to take it very seriously. It was interesting that not long after President Trump, renamed Department of Defense, Department of War. Doesn't change the mission, but it does change the tone.
Yeah. Also wanted to ask you about a recent targeted attack on an alleged narco-terrorist drug boat that we had seen. The Trump administration standing behind that decision. Perhaps you've seen the video. I mean, it's a clear strike by the Department of Defense. Pete Hegseth sharing the footage. But it's being met with legal pushback, actually, by the president to make that decision. Wanted to get your thoughts on where you stand on it and whether you'd support additional strikes.
Well, it was interesting. The prime ministers of Tobago and Trinidad said, kill them all. Because remember, these small islands are on the front line, and they get the effect of cartels running drugs out of Venezuela. The intelligence was clear. And look, I'm a former SEAL team, commander, and I've done a lot of shipboarding at sea. They're dangerous operations. But when the intelligence is clear, they're running drugs. I guess the message is clear. If you're going to run drugs in the Caribbean, you're at risk, and you will be caught, identified, and you will be destroyed. So I think President Trump sent a clear and decisive message that the cartels, run on the Caribbean is over. It is gunboat diplomacy. We have a carrier battle group. We have a marine amphibious unit off the coast of Venezuela. I'm hoping Venezuela changes their modus operandi. If they don't, the pressure will continue. And look, Monroe Doctrine, if you look at where the U.S. should influence South in North America and our hemisphere, we have an important role to play. And I think, policing and eliminating the drug cartels, I think is one of our primary missions.
All right. Yeah, again, 11 designated terrorists taken out, according to the administration. Montana Congressman Ryan Zinke joining us. We do appreciate that, Congressman. Good to see you. Enjoy your weekend.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.